Hi, Jason.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
I mean, first you got to tell me. I looking very swell. I mean, what have you been doing?
I lost 118 pounds, 119 pounds. Everybody has asked me, what's the secret? What's the secret? And I wish I could come here and say, oh my God, I was running on a treadmill eating, Wheaties or whatever. No, I went to Houston and had a surgery, the gastric sleeve surgery. Let's start with that. And then I
Okay.
just changed my entire dietary lifestyle, and I changed everything I eat, everything I drink. I changed my emotional diet changed. Everybody around me had to be on a positive vibe, and then now I'm just focused on a whole lifestyle changes. So the reason why I chose to be very very open about the gastric sleeve surgery is because my team wanted me to lie and say, I was doing this fitness thing to get money and get brands, but I built a platform on transparency, and I wanted people to know that whatever pathway you choose to get healthy, you only have one life. Do it.
Well, it looks good.
Thank you.
Talk about Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored. You're very uncensored, so it's a very fitting word. Talk about that decision because it's such a strong decision to be uncensored and to be unfiltered. How was that hard for you? Like, how did you reach that place?
Yeah, I mean, when I decided to create Hollywood Unlocked 6 years ago, yesterday actually was our birthday. When I created Hollywood Unlocked, I wanted to create a platform where we can pull the veil back on what's happening in Hollywood and provide extreme transparency. So celebrities could come to a trusted place to share their point of view. Fans could come to a place knowing that we're going to be unbiased, fair, and allow celebrities to share their space, but also be critical. And so when I created it, I never thought that I could come and be fake. I didn't want to talk to people that I wasn't interested in. I didn't want to come and sell things that I didn't believe in. And I literally get to show up as myself every single day in every single conversation. And it makes it not feel like work. And I've been criticized sometimes for my style because it is very conversational where I share a lot of my personal life. But as I'm sure you can understand, appreciate, OJ, when celebrities come in to interview with me, they're really uncomfortable at first, and so I have to break that wall down by sharing some of my own business.
Right. No, because I often, anytime I talk to celebrity, they're like, they give us like this list where like we can't talk about this, we can't talk about that. And I feel like you just probably ignore all of that. And like,
No, we have a rule. We won't talk to you if you submit anything that we can't talk
oh,
about. I'll give you an example. Saweetie wanted to come back on the show to promote her record. And I was excited because I love Saweetie. I'm from California. I love the Migos. You were dating one of the Migos. I didn't know y'all were beating on each other, but whatever.
right.
They sent me the list of what I couldn't talk about. And one of the things was you can't talk about Quavo. So I said, I don't want to talk to Saweetie because why can't I not talk about her man when they keep posting each other in the Birkin bags and all this and that on Instagram? So we didn't interview Saweetie. And so some people will look at that as a missed opportunity. But once you built the audience that they need, you really aren't losing anything. They're losing because they need the audience to promote their products for them. And so we just move on and talk to somebody else.
All right. Keep pushing. Because the audience is still there. They're coming to see you almost now.
Right.
It's more about what your opinion and what you guys have to offer. Your show has an amazing audience. Speaking of, so a lot of times I see you bring them into the chat, almost like they're your co-host in a way. Talk about your audience fueled show and how they bring a different element.
Yeah, so you're talking about my new show, Gagging with Jason Lee.
Yeah. See.
That's on
Yeah.
YouTube, on my website, on HollywoodUnlocked.com every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The difference between in creating that show and creating Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee Uncensored, Hollywood Unlocked, the podcast, was created to tell you my point, my perspective, and my point of view on what's happening in pop culture and social topics. Gagging with Jason Lee was Gagging with Jason Lee was a show that I created for my fans to come and tell me what they think about what's happening in pop culture. So it's very interactive, highly engaging, very very reckless at times. We start with a disclaimer saying to people, don't sue me, go sue them, because we're going to talk our stuff. But it's one of those things where I wanted to create a show where for the first time my fans can come and tell Hollywood Unlocked and tell our platform, their platform, what they feel about what's happening. And it's been one of my favorite things to launch on the platform.
What would be your advice? And I know you've gotten amazing advice from the greats like Wendy and Queen Latifah, who you always call Dana. I always hear you. What would be your advice to a young whippersnapper coming up in the game, just trying to do what you do?
Be fearless, be patient, don't give up, don't sell out, own your stuff, be fearless. That is the most important thing, because when I realized yesterday was the 6-year birthday of Hollywood Unlocked, I went back and
Woo!
started, I know, right? I started thinking about all the no's, all the doubters, all the people who told me to go and be a publicist, go do something else. There's no room in this space for you. You're not good enough. This person's bigger than you. You'll never be bigger than that person. When I was told all that, being denied VC money from funders, I look at the fact that God carried me all the way through to today, where I wake up every day and do what I want, say what I want, live how I want, go wherever I want. My whole life is virtual, and I'm continuing to live out my dream because of the people who support me and believe in me. But what the belief tells me was that the work and all of the struggle that I went through to get here was worth it. And I would say to that person who, especially if you're a person of color, stay in control of your brand, stay in control of your voice, and be fearless, and don't give up, because you'll get everything that you want.
Where do you see the next evolution of you've been able to establish such a really great brand with Hollywood Unlocked? What are some things you want to move on to next and conquer next? Do you want to produce, films, or what else, documentaries perhaps? Like, where do you want to go next?
Well, I just launched my production company, Sutter Street Productions. The first show that I'm producing as executive producer and host is Hollywood Unlocked on the Fox Soul Network. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, I am looking to develop more shows. I just developed another show that I'm talking with the network about. I'm getting ready to host the Bad Girls Club reunion for Zeus Network, and I'm producing that also. And I don't even know if I'm supposed to say anything, but there you go. The cat's out the bag. And I'm just excited to now be working with producers to develop shows that can be culturally conscious content that we can participate in without getting into combat all the time. Because one thing I learned from Love and Hip Hop and working with Viacom is that a lot of these networks that are run by white people really love profiting off of the conflict between Black people, families, and relationships. And I didn't want to participate in that. And so I'm doing my best to try to evolve out of that. And, it's a journey, but I'm looking to produce content. And then I'm also talking with networks about doing stuff with them as well.
I love that. And I feel strongly, would you feel like your time on Love and Hip Hop was possibly a hindrance, or you view it as something that was like a blessing?
I don't regret anything I've ever done. I think it was definitely a door that opened for me, and I did the best I could with that door. And I think I've done a great job of pivoting my brand from the conflict you saw me in 6 years ago to now. I left Love and Hip Hop and used that platform to get over on MTV and do Wild and Out, and have had 4 successful seasons there. But now, as an executive producer and as somebody who's out here as one of the people leading the culture, I want to create content that can be Emmy worthy, but doesn't result in people beating each other up or throwing drinks, and I think that is possible. I believe that it's possible.
Well, you've definitely made it possible, and we're so proud of you. And I'm definitely going to keep watching everything that you're doing. Congratulations, Jason.
Thank you so much, and I'm here anytime you want me.
I will. I'll definitely be in the DMs.
Thank you.
Okay.